Patrice. I am a best-selling author. I'm a speaker. I'm a trainer. I'm the CEO of my very own company, Tiana Patrice Consulting, where we help small businesses get in alignment and make money, right? Because that's what businesses want to do. You're like, yeah. But more than that, you're kind of looking at the finished product, what you think is the finished product, right? She looks like she has it all together. She has a book. She has her business. But has it always been like that? It's not always like that. I'm evolving just like you. I am you. I've been sitting where you're sitting. And I'm always growing every day. Every single day I'm seeking to learn something new. And so when I started thinking about, well, what am I going to come in here and talk to them about? What do they want to hear? Certainly they'll want to know about how to start their own business. Maybe they'll want to know about the journey of entrepreneurship. Someone want to know about writing their first book, right? Or maybe how to make money from the things that they love to do. But then I thought, well, what would you have wanted to know from, when you were sitting in a statistics class, probably wanting to quit? I know one of you guys. I see the head shaking. What would you have wanted to know back then? What would you have wanted to know when you're working tirelessly, studying, and you just don't get it? What would you have wanted to know when you're working on a job to put yourself through college because you're the only one that you can depend on? What would you have wanted to know? So I went to bed. I prayed about it. We're in the Bible Belt. We pray. When we can't figure out nothing else, we do what? We pray. So I went to bed and I prayed about it. And when I woke up the next morning, it was very clear. I was going to speak with you all about the evolution of me, about enduring the process, about pushing past your quit, about pushing past your fear, pushing past your past, pushing past your circumstances. That's what I want to talk to you guys about today. Every one of us in here all have something in common. How many of you guys have wanted to quit before? Your hand went up so fast. I don't even want to ask you what you wanted to quit. But we've all wanted to quit something, right? And we all have things in common. You're a dreamer. You have big dreams. You want to have more opportunities, more options. You want to have more control over your life. You want to be able to have a say in where you work for the rest of your life, where you retire from. You want to be essentially your own boss, internally or externally. That's what we all have in common. And so that's why I'm here to speak with you today, because I get it. I've been there, and in a lot of ways, guys, I am still there. So in 2001 was when I first decided that I was going to go off to college. I was 14 years old, and my eyes were just starting to open up to the realities that were around me. You see, I came from a single parent home and a fatherless home. I am the product of a single mother and a fatherless daughter. Many of you guys can relate. My grandmother stepped in to help my mom raise my brother and me because my mom had to work 2 jobs. How many of you guys can imagine or maybe work 2 jobs? Okay. Right? Had to work 2 jobs to take care of 2 growing children. Now, while I never really saw them break a sweat, I quickly realized that in order to rise above the stereotypes that I was born into, in order to rise above the realities that people were already declaring for my life, that I would have to, in my grandmother's voice, get some learning about myself. But when I looked over here and I saw my mom working tirelessly, and I looked over here and my grandmother was raising children in a new generation that weren't even her own. Her kids were long gone and grown. I realized that if I wanted to get some learning about myself, I was going to have to pay for it by myself. Now, earlier I talked to you about what you see up here is the finished product. You see this poised, slightly funny, I'm funny, right? Slightly funny woman. But it wasn't always like that. Growing up, I was the smart mouth little girl that you shake your head at now. Those little girls that you shake your head at and go, where's her mama? That was me. Snapping my fingers, rolling my neck. I could cut my eyes in such a way that would make a grown man look at his imaginary watch and leave the room. But I knew that I didn't want to be like that for the rest of my life. Grown women would sit and tell me that I wouldn't amount to anything. Grown women would tell me that I would just be another statistic, 16 years old and pregnant. Grown women were intimidated by my confidence at 14 years old. Can you imagine? Grown women. But I remember my grandmother telling me one day, you were born to be more than just average. You were born to be extraordinary. And while I did lose my grandmother earlier in August of last year, those words have stuck with me through everything that I've been through. So I remember one night going to this pageant. My cousin entered this pageant. I have no idea how she got the money to, you know what, I should go back and ask her, how did you get the money to enter this pageant? But she entered this pageant and she killed it. Now you remember, I was trying to figure out how to rise above my circumstances. So I'm 14, I'm seeing my cousin walk across this stage. Her smile permeated the dark room. Her speech moved grown men to tears in that room. I'm like, wait a minute, we may be onto something. And she won. And when she won cash, lots of cash. So I said, we are onto something. I just figured out my way out. So I entered my first pageant with nothing more than my innate gifts. Nothing more. Mama couldn't afford to put me in dance to compete with the other girls. I had nothing more but this. That sassy, smart mouth little 14-year-old. But I could speak and I could move around the room. So I entered my first pageant and I won. I won cash. I won lots of cash. I had found my way out. So from 15 to 17 and 18, I entered pageants all throughout the tri-state area. At 16 years old, I got my first job, Journey Shoe Store. That was me. Little scrawny girl, if you came in there, that was probably me back in the day, helping you try on shoes. And I saved. Why? Because I wanted to find out what that extraordinary life was all about. And in 2005, I graduated from Northview High School. Go Cougars. Anybody? No? Yeah? I graduated from Northview in 2005, and I went on to UAB. And my first year of college was paid for. I had no idea what financial aid even was. And I hate that I found out, to be completely honest. But I didn't. I didn't know what financial aid was. So why do I share that part of my story with you? Well, first I'm sharing it because at 15 years old, I was very clear on my why. My why was to save myself. My why was to be more than a product of my environment. My why was greater than my quit. Did I want to quit? Yeah, I mean, come on. Y'all know what was going on at 15. It was the time of dating. It was the time of starting to go out and explore. It was the time of peer pressure, right? But I knew that my why was much greater than that. So I say all of that to say this to you. What is your why? What is your why that's going to push you past your quit? We all have it. Some of you in here have kids. That's your why. Some of you in here have debt. That's your why to push you past your quit. What is your why that's so deep-rooted, that you're so passionate about, that even when wanting to quit comes up, fear comes up, doubt comes up, you've doubted yourself. Some of you are doubting yourself right now when Dr. Lewis was walking around and you're like, please don't come over here. Don't come over here, Dr. Lewis. You're doubting yourself. But what is your why that's going to help you push past that? Okay, so I went off to college. I was jet setting it too, y'all. I thought I was grown. My grandmother told me, when you leave my house and you start paying your own bills, that's when you're grown. Remember, I got my first job at 16. So I started paying my own bills around that time, but I hadn't left her house yet. So when I left her house, I cut all my hair off. I dyed it red. I almost gave my mom a heart attack, but that's what you do when you're grown. You gotta go make drastic changes to let people know that you've entered the world. That's what I thought. So I went off to college. I was going to change the world, save the world, and remember, save myself. But then accounting happened. And chemistry happened. And statistics happened. And now in section, like, well. Now in high school, I had a 3.8. I was in National Honor Society. I was in the science club. So of course, I'm thinking that, this is how the real world is. So I go off to college, just ready. But then these things came up. And when I first went off to college, I wanted to be a pediatrician. Okay. And then after failing chemistry 3 times, I realized that wasn't for me. So then I said, well, I'll be a physical therapist. Because I love the healthcare field, okay? I'll be a physical therapist. But then after realizing that at 100 pounds, I can barely pick up a fly, let alone a 300-pound guy that would need my help, realized that wasn't for me. So then I said, respiratory therapy, that's it. I'm jet setting it, respiratory therapy. Then I saw them pull this tube out, and oh my God, all of that gone. That certainly, you should have seen me hightailing it out. Now, gotta go talk to my advisor again. So at this point, I'm wanting to what? I want to quit. Nothing's working. I'm taking all of these classes. I'm failing most of them. The other ones aren't applying to the new degree that I'm going to get. It's just it's not making sense to me. So I go to my advisor. He goes, okay, Tiana, you want to be in the healthcare field, right? Yes, I do. Well, why don't you try healthcare administration? It's the business side of healthcare. You'll still be in the healthcare field. You'll be able to be in control of things because I know that's what you're really trying to do. Yes, you know me well. And so that's what I did. When I walked across the stage, I graduated with a degree in health administration. Did I still have to take accounting? Yes, I did. I actually took it online at Troy. Did I still have to pass my statistics class? Guys, yes, I did, even though I wanted to quit. If you ask me anything about statistics, I can't answer your question, so don't even try. But I pushed past my quit, and I kept going. I did. But I didn't stop. I changed my mind a lot, right? A whole lot. In fact, in college, you're supposed to graduate with 120 credits. How many credits do you think I graduated with? Anybody guess? 147. Almost there. 147. 27 credits more than I needed. That was money and time, right? I'm paying for that now. But I kept going. And I'm saying that to say you have the right to evolve too. You have the right to elevate above your circumstances. You have the right to change your mind, and you don't have to make excuses for it. You don't have to apologize about it. You don't have to explain it to anyone. You have the right. Going to college seriously opened up doors unimaginable for me. Passing that statistics class, I know you're like, oh, she's so cliche. But passing that statistics class opened up doors unimaginable for me. This little country girl from Dothan, Alabama, this smart mouth, sassy, making grown men run and cry, little girl from Dothan, Alabama. Going to college and getting my education allowed me to be able to sit at tables and have conversations with people I would have never been in the room with. It allowed people to see me. It allowed me to have conversations I would have never had. It gave me opportunities, the same opportunities that you're working so hard for right now. So, I'm not going to take up too much more of your time, but I want you to know that you have the power to change the trajectory of your life. Whatever you're going through right now, whatever you went through last night, whatever you went through this morning before you even walked in this door. Some of you are still trying to figure it out. You're trying to figure out your purpose. You're trying to figure out why you're here. You're trying to figure out if you really want to go to nursing school. You're trying to figure out if you really want to even finish off your education. But you have the power to change the trajectory and rise above all of your circumstances. You're here because you want to show your children that it's possible. You're here because you want to have more opportunities for your life. And you can do that. You want to start your own business? Do it. Endure the process. Let me tell you something. We all have dreams. How many of you guys have had a dream? I had a dream. Y'all watch Tangled. I have a 4-year-old, so I have to watch all this stuff. But she's smiling. You watched Tangled beforehand. Oh, yeah. You know, I have a dream. Anyways, so we all have dreams. The dream is given to everybody, right? But the endurance, the hustle, the grind, that's all sold separately. You have to endure the process. You want to write a book? You can. Endure the process and push. You want to pass your statistics class? You can. Endure the process and push. You want to have your own business? Endure the process and push. You can. You can absolutely do it. It's possible. Again, what you see before you, the author, best-selling author, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. I travel all over the world. Being able to endure my process and push. These same women that told me that I wouldn't amount to nothing, y'all know I walk by them so gracefully. Like, hey girl, remember me? They're like, yeah, I saw you on TV. You saw it. I know you was watching. But that's what you have to do. You have to endure that process and push. And you have to shake up your comfort zone and start shaking up the comfort zones of everyone else around you. That's your right. And you ain't got to apologize about it. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to repeat after me. And this is what it's going to sound like. My name is Tiana Patrice, but where I say Tiana Patrice, you're going to say your name, okay? So it's going to say, my name is Tiana Patrice, and on this day, I declare that I am the CEO of me. My dreams are valid. My goals are possible. Okay? And my life is worth the push. Can we do that? Okay. So my name is, say my name is.
My name is.
Okay, then what's your name?
Kimberly.
Kimberly. Who else? Come on. Give it to me. What's your name? Like, yell it out. What's your name? All right. And on this day, I declare that I am the CEO of me. My dreams are valid. My goals are possible. And my life is worth the push. Thank you. Thank you for having me. And I'll open the floor if anybody has any questions. Does anybody have any questions for me?
You can see why she's going to be involved in our entrepreneurship center. No secret about that at all. She's very interested in getting started. I got a question for you. I was real curious about some of the statements you made. You talked about your grandmother, the influence she had over your life, and then you made a statement just a second ago. You said the dream is given to everybody. Do you believe that?
I believe that everyone has a dream.
But were the people who were the influences in your life instrumental for you being able to recognize that you had a dream? I mean, had it not been for those people, would you have even been aware that it was possible, that you had a dream?
That's a great question. I believe that we all have a dream. We all are given a dream. And your dream may be something small. It may be that you just want to travel and be able to live comfortably. It may be that you want to write your own book or start your business or whatever your dream may be, right? But the people in your life are instrumental because they help push you and help motivate you that you believe that those dreams are possible. There are so many adults, so many children that have dreams, but there's nobody behind them pushing them to let them know that it's even possible for them to achieve. So yes, I believe that everybody has a dream. We all got dreams, whether we talk about it or not. And again, your dream may be different from mine. But for me, the people that were in my life, such as my grandmother, you know, that was instrumental to let me know that my dreams were possible, my dreams were valid. Because you got to realize, over here, I had people telling me that I wouldn't amount to anything. But over here, even though my grandmother was busy, at any given time, guys, in a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 1-bath home, it could be over 10 people living with us. My grandmother turned no one away. So while she's cooking and she's picking up from school and she's doing all this, she's still taking the time to pour into my life over here and going, your dreams are valid. You are meant to be extraordinary. And so even if I'm the only person that have ever told you that your dreams are valid, take that and run with it, because they are. And we have to learn how to believe in ourselves, because we can't always depend on everyone else to support us and do it for us. So that
I just think there's so many kids who grow up without dreams.
I think there's so many
who are just existing. And I'm wondering with those kids, I mean, you saw it because you had support mechanisms around. But when the culture fails these kids, do they still have dreams? Do you think? I don't know the answer to that.
Well, I believe that all kids have dreams. All kids don't have support. How many of you guys have children? How old is your child?
Almost 2.
Almost 2. You can ask your 2-year-old right now, what's it, girl or boy?
Girl.
Girl. What's her name?
Skylar.
Skylar, what do you want to be when you grow up? She's like, I want to be a Barbie. At 2 years old, that's her dream, right?
Yeah.
So we all have a dream. Even as children, they have dreams. But do they have that support? Does she have daddy going, well, you know what? I think we can do that. Let's go play dress up and let's be Barbie today. Now Skylar thinks she's Barbie and she can be anything because daddy just told her that.
But why didn't you let the adult women, about whom you talked, stifle?
Had I not had this positive influence over here, they would have. And you know what? We have to be very careful about what we allow in our ears or what we allow in our eyes. We have to be very careful about what we pour into our children because that does go through adulthood. Even as an adult, those things come back to me, that you'll never amount to anything. If I fail at something, sometimes I'll go, well, they say it. But then I'll go, wait a minute. Well, you guys know, my business is based on faith, family, and freedom, so my faith is really important. So over here, I'll go, well, they said, but then I'll go, well, he said. Mm-hmm. So you have to be careful about what you internalize. You have to pick and choose. Am I going to listen to that, or am I going to listen to me? Your dreams are valid. You're the CEO of you. Nobody can boss you around but you. People only have the power over your life that you give to them. So we have to be, and if you see a child that looks like they're going in the wrong path, speak life into that child. My grandmother, until her dying day, we would sit on her patio, her porch, and it overlooks the street. And the young boys, the generations are just so different now. And the young boys, they would walk down the street with, their pants kind of hanging low. And my grandmother would go, you're in the presence of royalty. She was like, there's royal blood running through my veins. She would tell them, you're in the presence of royalty, you pull up your pants. You would see them when they started turning down her street, doing this right here. Even to this day, and she's not on the porch, I still see them doing that. If they're about to pass Miss Ruthie Lee's house, they're going to pull up their pants. Now, do you get what I'm saying? She spoke that into them. You are more than that. Now, hopefully, they take that throughout their life. But it just takes that one person. It takes that one person to destroy a dream, and it takes that one person to lift up a dream. So if Skylar tells you tonight that she wants to be a Barbie, you go into her playroom, you put her on a Barbie dress, and you let her be a Barbie. But I hope that answers your questions. I do believe we all have dreams. They grow. And I always am asking my daughter about every 30 days, at least once a month, what she wants to be when she grows up. And she told me a mommy. Now here goes my mom going, you don't want to be a mommy. And I'm like, Mom, calm down. Let's ask her, why did she say that? And my mom's, of course, thinking, what you got to do to become a mommy, right? I'm like, Mommy, she's 3. Like, give her a second. Let her explain herself. She goes, because I can work for myself, and I can get on the phone with people and go, you can have an amazing life, and I'll tell people that they'll pay me, and I'll be able to help them. I said, well, how much are you going to charge? I think like $20. I was like, girl, you're going to be working hard to pay your bills. But do you realize she never once said what? Anything about having a kid.
Right.
She never said that.
Right.
So what I realized I've done is I've redefined mommyhood for my daughter. She still at 4 has never said, because I want to have a child. Oh, she said, and so people won't tell me what to do. And I said, well, baby, I hate to, burst that dream of yours. But people will always tell you what to do. She goes, who tells you what to do? I said, Sally Mae. So we all have dreams. We do. But who's going to be there to help you shape that dream? And whose dream can you help shape?